Have you ever danced when the devil took a glance at a rebel? Had a chance to advance. You are not on my level. You are not my equal. I can pose another sequel. Those that do oppose, I was exposed and leave you see through with the spies in my eye. Recognize me as a legend. Refuse to cry and die so I may never get to heaven. I've been yelling and rebelling since the days I was a youngin'. Been a long time coming, I'll be damned if I'm running. Original individual, so I'm living like a criminal. Give it to you fools direct, no need to be subliminal. Say a nigga name quick but never to be famous. Put this thing up to your brain and I'll leave you brainless. Got you suckers ducking knuckles, watch you buckle as I chuckle. I can see right through your heart. You don't wanna start no trouble. Thought I couldn't get it crunk, well hell I beg to differ. I'm far from a punk and ain't your ordinary nigga. Fake niggas, I'm back. The game about to change. I ain't playing games, I'ma put it in your brains. Fake niggas, I'm back. The game about to change. I ain't playing games, I'ma put it in your face. I'ma break them all, break them off. Let me break them all, break them off. I don't care if you ain't scared, be prepared to take a loss. I'ma break them all, break them off. Let me break them all, break them off. I don't care if you ain't scared, be prepared to take a loss. I can see me leading the legion, screaming in the evening. I had the kids pleading, why is daddy not breathing? See, daddy was a heathen, daddy was deceiving. Told him last season, all I'm needing is a reason. I have no sympathy, consider me a lethal weapon. Remain a mystery consistently, I keep them guessing. With the world on my shoulder, my heart turns colder. Life ain't what you think, before you blink it could be over. Ready for revolution, retribution's a solution. There is no forgiveness as you witness evolution. The world revolves as I evolve, take a stroll through my soul. I don't plan to ever pause or take it easy on my foes. Break them off with a pencil and a simple instrumental. Situation detrimental if you disrespect my mental. This is how I really live, I hope I never have to kill. I represent self-defense, if I have to then I will. Niggas, I'm back, the game about to change. I ain't playing games, I'ma put it in your brains. Fake niggas, I'm back, the game about to change. I ain't playing games, I'ma put it in your face. I'ma break them all, break them off. Let me break them all, break them off. I don't care if you ain't scared, be prepared to take a loss. I'ma break them all, break them off. Let me break them all, break them off. I don't care if you ain't scared, be prepared to take a loss. I don't wanna beef with anybody, but I'm far from afraid. I'm a grown ass man, ain't no games being played. Better shut your friggin' mouth before I kick up in your house. Forensics at your residence, no evidence to figure out. Wasn't seen, had to see, no if or ands or in between. This is what I do to you or anyone who intervenes. I refuse to be a prey, not tomorrow, not today. I'ma be a predator. Hell, there is no other way. Bust your brain if I must. Leave you laying in the dust. Only God understands. That's the only man I trust. The rest of y'all die slow. Die with your eyes closed. Talk behind my back, but you can't look me in my eyes though. That's what you call a coward. You can find me down in Broward. Tell me where you want it at. I'll be there in a half an hour. Diamond chains, take them off. Haters, I'ma shake them off. I only deal with the real. All of the rest, I break them off. Niggas, I'm back. The game about to change. I ain't playing games, I'ma put it in your brains. Fake niggas, I'm back. The game about to change. I ain't playing games, I'ma put it in your face. I'ma break them all, break them off. Let me break them all, break them off. I don't care if you ain't scared, be prepared to take a loss. I'ma break them all, break them off. Let me break them all, break them off. I don't care if you ain't scared, be prepared to take a loss. Assassin.
Bundy pinned this man one time. Pitching again for a 5 count.
He told the referee keep counting to 5.
The fact of the matter is this: on the five-time WCW champion, now can you dig that?
Oh, what is up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of 5 Count. Hold on, I'm wondering why my camera is looking this way. Oh, man, my screen is looking weird. I don't know what's going on. Hold up. All right, well, I guess that's a little bit better. Anyway, we're here with another episode of 5 Count. I do apologize for the delay. I don't normally do this live, so it's kind of throwing me off trying to do this live. We are going to discuss tonight's episode of Friday Night Smackdown, which I thought was a really good episode. Not without its faults, but nevertheless had some really, really good wrestling. I thought it was a good show overall. There were some head scratchers that made me be like, okay, that's different. Like, why are we doing that one? But nevertheless, let's get into the show. So tonight, not necessarily going to give you 5 takeaways. We're just kind of going to run through the show because it was a King of the Ring episode. So, there were more matches, and I just want to give my quick takes on those matches. But nevertheless, we will get you out of here real quick. So let's begin. The show opens up with Nick Aldis coming to the ring, and he calls out Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out to a fantastic reception. He's still over, regardless of what people think. I know they want to say that he isn't over. Cody Rhodes comes out, and Nick Aldis says, well, I know that you want to be a fighting champion and things like that, so we have this show coming up in Saudi, and here's your next opponent. So I'm like, okay. I thought he was going to say that the winner of the King of the Ring gets a title shot, but he was like, no, we've already selected your next opponent. Out comes Logan Paul. So we're getting the champion versus champion match. The match is going to be good. I think the match is going to be really, really good because Logan Paul has shown us that he's awesome, and that's just it. He's taken to this thing like nobody before. He has not disappointed in any of his matches. His match against Roman at the Saudi show a couple of years ago was tremendous. His match with Seth. I mean, we could just go on and on. Logan Paul is that dude. But my problem is, why is the U.S. champion wrestling Cody Rhodes for the WWE title? Well, okay, they didn't even say we're both belts on the line. We just assumed because Cody said that if I win the U.S. title, I'll be a Grand Slam champ. But are you going to have your WWE champion take the belt off of Logan Paul? That's just kind of weird. Here we have LA Knight, who should be the person to win the U.S. title, just lost in the shuffle because now you're going to put your U.S. champion against your WWE champion, and there's no way Logan Paul is beating Cody Rhodes for that WWE title. So unless there's a screwy finish, Cody Rhodes is walking out of Saudi Arabia, out of Crown Jewel, with 2 titles. Now, they didn't say it because they didn't really tell us much. They just literally said it's going to be champion versus champion, and Nick Aldis left the ring. But next week they're having the contract signing. So here's my first problem. So I guess I can give you 5 problems. So here's my first problem. I mean, coming from having Roman never defending his title, and now you got Cody seemingly wanting to defend his title all the time, which is great, which is admirable. I'm thinking WWE just outright doesn't know how to book babyface champions. Like, to me, it just seems like, people can get in a ring and everybody could talk crap to Cody. And it's like, he just stands there and takes it. I mean, he'll do his comeback after he listens to them talk crap to him for a long period of time. It's just weird to me. Whereas with the heel champions, they don't normally do that. And I just see this as a reoccurring thing. Like, the babyface champions, you're going to get a great match. I'm not talking about that. You're going to get a fantastic match. You got a fantastic match with Cody versus AJ, which, by the way, I thought that would be what they would run back at Saudi. But, but they had AJ in the tournament. So I guess nobody was really ready at the time because AJ was already in the tournament. So whatever. You're gonna get another great match, but I need them to like book Cody. Like, I mean, he's a great champion, great look, finish his story, but I don't want him to just be the guy that's just stepping up to fight anybody. Like, these guys have to earn it. That's why a top 10 list is so needed in the WWE. It's like WWE has made miles and leaps and bounds, strides, great strides. But then there's certain things that they just do that's just still so head scratching that I had to scratch my bald ass head. Like, man, why are they doing this one? Again, the match is going to be great. I'm not talking about this match quality. I expect it to far exceed anything. But it's just how we got here. You have a U.S. champion that never defends his title, and all of a sudden he's catapulted as the number one contender. Now, it would have been better since WWE is talking about, they're opening the doors and they're talking about other promotions. It would have been better had they come out and said that the Saudi Prince loved the way Logan Paul performs, and they requested Logan Paul to wrestle the champion since Cody didn't have anything to do. That's it. Problem solved. Hey, we already know how much money you're getting, a shit ton of money. That's what they requested. Let's go ahead and do it to appease these guys that are writing a huge check to us. Problem solved. There you go, right there. Problem solved. But again, nevertheless, the match is going to be great. They're doing a contract signing next week. Man, I just can't wait until they get rid of this ugly belt, man. Like, I just don't like that WWE title. And Cody because they're changing all these belts now. Cody, they gotta change this design. I mean, this big logo in the middle, it doesn't look prestigious when you look at the other titles around the wrestling industry. I was at an indie show a couple of months ago, late last year, and their world title looked a million times better than the WWE title. So they got to do something about that. So let's move on here. So we had our first King of the Ring match, Queen of the Ring match. And I'm saying it, mark the tape, 12 minutes, 55 seconds in. This match was great. Oh my goodness. Naomi versus Nia Jax. One thing I did love about this tournament tonight, all these tournament matches, all with the exception of one, all the matches that you thought were going to be squashes ended up being back and forth, really good matches. And this was one of them. The crowd was hot for this. Naomi had to wrestle Nia Jax and her top because for whatever reason, her top didn't want to stay in place. And I don't know if it was just me, but the screen kept blacking out. I was wondering, where we going to get to see the glow, But yeah, I mean, it was hard. Every minute she's readjusting her top and everything. And Naomi is a stacked woman, man. So, it's probably kind of hard to hold all that in place. But nevertheless, man, it's just, all that aside, this match was great. Naomi has continuously impressed me since coming back because you guys know I'm not a fan of her in-ring ability. But since she's been back, she has really, really been impressing. Like, this match went back and forth. This wasn't your typical Nia Jax squash. Nia Jax looked great, man. Nia Jax is going to lay her shit in. That's the thing about Nia Jax. She is going to lay her shit in. So it's not going to be any soft match. They came to fight. And I mean, Naomi hitting dives. It was like really, really great. Very limited on the ass-based offense, which I'm a huge critic of that. I've always disliked that. Naomi her move set was very, very crisp in this match, like very, very crisp. So let's get into this fantastic near fall. So Nia Jax is up on the second rope. Naomi, she has Naomi up like she's going to hit her with a super power ball. Like, I mean, you call it what it is. And Nia stood up with her. I mean, and had her up. So she was going. I'm like, oh my God, she's going to put Naomi through the ring. but Naomi flipped her body into a Hurricane Rana and got Nia over. Fantastic spot. The crowd just got out of their seats with that one. Like, that was fantastic for the damnedest 2 count. I'm like, oh my God, they're really gonna put Naomi over. But it wasn't the case. Nia Jax kicked out, eventually got her in the Vader Bomb, and it was 1, 2, 3. But I thought this match was great, man. For a TV match in front of a really, really good crowd. Every crowd now is going to try to top that France crowd. It'll never happen. But for a TV match in front of that crowd, I thought this was a great opening match. And kudos to Nia Jax and Naomi. This was great. So moving right along here. So then we had the return of Baron Corbin. Taking on Carmelo Hayes. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was the spot that was supposed to be for Bobby Lashley. I gotta check, but Baron Corbin came back and he's a babyface now. He came down and he said that, hey, I'm gonna do it just as me. I'm not gonna be mad. Not gonna be broke Corbin. I'm not gonna be bum Corbin. I'm not gonna be happy Corbin. I'm just gonna be me. He came down to the ring, slapping hands with the fans like he was happy to be there. And listen, Baron Corbin is a great wrestler. I don't care what anybody says. I know people like to crap on him because he craps on the indie guys. And, he didn't have to go the indie route. He just didn't. Former boxer, former NFL player, WWE loves those type of guys. But when Baron Corbin works with a smaller opponent, and Carmelo Hayes is that compared to him, a smaller opponent, when you put him in the ring with a Gable or somebody like that, I never forget the match he had with Neville. It's great. Like, Baron Corbin is a great wrestler, great character. I'd love to. I'm very curious to see how this babyface run is going to go. But him and Carmelo Hayes had a great match. Carmelo did get the win with a roll up, so it kind of protected Corbin. Like, hey, it was a sneak pin, nothing nefarious. He just caught him off guard, and Carmelo Hayes moves on as he should. So moving right along. Oh boy, this was the one that I was worried about because you guys listen to Wrestling with Reality this week. I spent like 20 minutes just ripping Jade Cargill apart, which I love Jade Cargill, and I think she's going to be a mega star. But that match that they had at Backlash was horrendous. I already put it in my box, in my category as worst match of the year. And when I saw that she was going to be taking on Piper, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to be sloppy. Not because of Piper Niven. Piper Niven is awesome. And I'm glad that Piper Niven is. I hope they're giving her some shine and not just feeding her to people. But this is the type of match that Jade needed to have and needs to have. A match where she could showcase her power, but a match that she could also come from behind, because this was another one. You thought this was going to be a squash. I thought this match was going 2 minutes. These two had a great back and forth. I was shocked. Jade hit her super kicks flush. She hit her pump kick. First time she hit that pump kick since she's been in WWE. Flush. Piper hit her with an elbow, a stiff clothesline that hit her like right in the face, and Jade just crumbled. It's like they were in there actually having a fight, like they were trying to win a wrestling match. And I think Bayley even tweeted, shout out to the women, they're really making this. Listen, one thing we can say, how we got here, how we got the matches, blah, 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 is irrelevant to this point. But these men and women have been working their ass off in these King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring matches. And Jade and Piper went out and had a great match. They told a story. Jade is in the ring with somebody who equals her in power. Like listen, again, you could hit 100 moves, you could hit all the super kicks in the world, but if your match doesn't tell a story, then it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't. And this match told a good story. They did the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior spot where they kept hitting the ring ropes and running into one another. and just to see who would move, the movable force against the indestructible object, however Gorilla Monsoon said it. But I thought this match was really good. I was watching it like this because I'm like, oh God, I want Jade to be so great, man. But you could tell she doesn't really have it in the ring. But this match, if they give her these type of matches, these type of opponents that she can go in there with, she could get her shit in, but they could deliver it just to be like, hey, welcome to the WWE. I thought this was great, man. And the match ended with Jade getting Piper up and jaded for the 1, 2, 3. So now Jade moves on in the tournament to face the person that I thought she should have been drafted to Raw to face anyway from the beginning, Nia Jax. Next week, we are getting Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax. And man, to quote Sean Ross Sapp, because I love when he says it, we're going to get a big, beefy son of a bitch match here because these two broads are going to beat the shit out of one another. Nia Jax does not pull any punches at all. And they are going to go in, and I think Nia is going to go in there and beat the hell out of Jade. But Jade will come from behind and get the victory. So I can't wait for that. Oh my God. Hey, listen, I don't want the week to hurry up and go, but I cannot wait for that, man. Jade Cargill is a mega star. And her and Nia, I think, are going to surprise the hell out of everybody because Nia and Naomi shocked the hell out of me. That match was great. I thought that was, man, the majority of these women matches in the Queen of the Ring have been really, really good. Outside of the Zoe Stark and Ivy Now, because they only gave them like a minute, it seemed like. But these matches have been really, really good. So I'm looking forward to what they do next week. I think this tournament has been rushed, especially on SmackDown, because we were supposed to get Tiffany Stratton and Michin, and they didn't even announce that they were going to be on the house show. At least for Monday Night Raw, they said, hey, we're going to have it on the house show. They didn't say anything. You got the semis next week. So you got to get the Michin and Tiffany Stratton match in at some point. Or are they going to do it on NXT? They got to get that match in. So yeah, I think they rushed the tournament, but nevertheless, with what they're doing, it still has been good. But so here's my other problem with WWE, what they're doing. So they want to be sports. They want to have this sports feel. They want to have this, this great big sports feel, but they don't do sports things good. And tournaments are sports things. They're trying to make it like a sports element, and they don't do the bones of it aren't done good. The wrestlers are executing, but the structure of it is not good. But again, I got confidence in Triple H. I know everybody says it. I'm a Triple H, shill and blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. It is what it is. Triple H is the man. And Triple H has made WWE 100% more enjoyable than the old man. So I'm willing to give him a break, and he'll figure it out. So Jade wins. Jade's walking out. Her tag team partner, Bianca, comes down. Then we have Bianca and Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae, again, this is where we don't, I'm a huge Miami Dolphins fan. You have the NFL playoffs. You have 7 teams you have 7 AFC teams, 7 NFC teams. They take the 4 division winners and then the 3 wild cards. Candice LeRae hadn't won a match in forever. I mean, outside of beating Maxine Dupree, but so what? How did she get a shot in the Queen of the Ring? In the Queen of the Ring tournament. Again, if you're treating this like a playoff, just show me how. Just show me like, hey, just make something up. Just show me like, hey, they picked names out of a hat or they did something like that. Because if not, you run into the risk of it just coming off like, hey, we just need random person X to feed to Bianca. And that's what it comes down to. I haven't seen Piper Niven on TV in forever. I love the match, but I haven't seen Piper in forever. But you mean to tell me she earned a spot in the Queen of the Ring tournament? It makes no sense. It doesn't. It doesn't. And it looks like now Chelsea Green is going to be Bayley's next opponent. It makes no sense. I just saw Chelsea Green losing to Roxanne Perez Tuesday. So you lose to the third brand's champion, and now you get to face the top brand's champion for a title? In what world does that make sense? That does not make sense. And all I ask you is have my wrestling make sense. I've been watching this for a almost 40 years. So I like it to make sense. It has to make some sense. Let's see. Shout out to MD in the building. The way they did the combine in NXT for the tourney slots was pretty innovative. So see, I didn't know that, because again, I don't have the time to watch NXT. Not that I don't like NXT, but just don't have the time to watch it. But so Bianca Belair wins this match. On paper, you put Bianca Belair versus Candice LeRae. It's supposed to be a wash, and Bianca took 70% of the match, but Candice did get some hope spots in there because Indy Hartwell was on the outside and they were cheating. They attacked the leg. I love when Bianca got her for the KOD, she didn't forget to sell the leg. She still sold the leg. What I don't like is Bianca was doing the 10 punches in the corner. She got to 5. Candice moved, and Bianca was still punching the turnbuckle. Come on now. I mean, you got enough years in now. You can't do stuff like that. It looks bad. And then the cameraman is shooting right at it. Like, oh yeah, let's shoot her. Let's shoot her with the phantom punches. If I call out AEW, then I'm gonna call out WWE. And everybody knows Bianca Belair is hell. I had Bianca Belair as in the top 5 of black champions of all time. So my wrestling fandom for her is through the roof, but I can still call out things that she does. But Bianca Belair did advance in on the tournament. So it's looking like, I mean, no disrespect to Michin, but Michin isn't beating Tiffany Stratton. I feel this whole tournament is designed for Tiffany Stratton to win it, which she probably should. So it looks like it's going to be Bianca versus Tiffany Stratton if they give me a Tiffany Stratton match. Because again, like I said, at least on Monday Night Raw, they announced that those 2 matches that didn't show were going to be done at house shows. They said nada for here. No LA Knight, no Tiffany Stratton. So we'll see where we go with that. Oh man, then I thought this was a great backstage segment. So you had a bloodline just looking like, just bosses, Solo with the black gloves for whatever reason. But Solo was so chatty tonight. He was so chatty. But Solo did something tonight that I have been screaming for the WWE to do. Again, if you're going to do sports things, mainstream sports, then you have to make it feel mainstream sporty. Solo told Paul Heyman that you pulled Roman from the draft, and that made us get picked in the 3rd round, where we would have been surefire first rounders. And Solo said that you're taking money out of my pocket. All I ever ask is make some damn sense, because everybody knows that a 3rd round pick is not getting the same money as a 1st round pick. And Solo saying that, I'm just like, yes. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, thank you. Just thank you. He's making it a big deal. Like, hey, bro, I'm supposed to get 1st round pick money. Now you got me getting 3rd round pick money. You're doing some underhand crap here. And then Solo said that he spoke with Roman Reigns, which I think is cap. He's bullshitting with that one. But he said he spoke with Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns told him that he's a tribal chief until he gets back. And then Solo's looking at Tangaloa, and he's just, what's about to happen. Paul Heyman. I hope Paul Heyman is learning how to flat back bump, because I see a ass kicking in his future. I see them beating up Paul Heyman pretty good in his future. I hope they make him bleed. But I see it coming in the future, just because Solo's just so vindictive and aggressive with it. But I thought this was a great backstage segment. Moving on, in the next match. So I want to say this probably was the shortest match of the night. It just seemed that way. You had you had Tama Tonga versus Angelo Dawkins. This was supposed to be the Bobby Lashley spot. So it was supposed to be Bobby Lashley versus Tama Tonga, but I guess so. They're saying Bobby Lashley was injured. I don't know how. I haven't heard anything from any of the news sites or anything. My feeling is Bobby wasn't going to lose the time. Like they wanted to advance Tama, but not at the expense of beating Bobby Lashley because they still protect Bobby Lashley. Because I mean, it's Bobby Lashley. So they had a sprint. They had a sprint because you had to save time for the main event. That main event went long. So Tama Tonga comes out with the win. Nothing really to write home about. And Montez Ford did have a great dive to the outside from the top rope. And then you see Solo came in. Solo hit Angelo Dawkins with the Samoan spike because Montez Ford was out on the outside. No Bobby Lashley because he's supposed to be hurt. B-Fab wasn't coming out for the save. And Paul Heyman's just standing there with that look. Oh, another thing Solo said that was great. Solo said that you gave Jay a look of help. Like, again, just continuity because we saw it. We saw it. It's like when these movies are breaking the fourth wall and then they try to act like, like we didn't see what they were doing. They're looking right in the camera talking to us, but we're not supposed to see what they're doing. Everybody saw it. Everybody saw that look that Paul Heyman gave Jey Uso. Everybody saw it. And it's just like, oh my goodness, for Solo to bring that up. It's you know what? It's like, okay, you remember when Brock Lesnar was champion and he would never show up just like Roman Reigns? And they'd ask him something in an interview, and Brock Lesnar would be like, I don't watch the show. Well, if the champion doesn't want to watch the show, why the hell do I want to watch the show? That's ridiculous. But for Solo to say that, it's like Solo saying, like, hey, bro, I went back and I saw it. I see everything. I thought it was so great, man. It's always just the little things. Just do little things, man, and it'd be like, okay, there you go. There you go. It just makes everything so great. So then we get to the main event. Again, Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles is 46 years old. Randy Orton is 44. I'm 44. These guys are in the greatest shape just ever of all time. And they went in there and they had a great wrestling match, man. The crowd serenaded Randy Orton. I guess that's going to be a new thing now. So I'm a little disappointed in not this match, but I need to get to Randy and Cody. I don't know how you're going to do it, but we need to get to Randy and Cody. And I wasn't a fan of the outcome just because Randy Orton won the match. I don't think Randy needed this because Randy's not going to be King of the Ring. I think this was so much better if AJ would have won. So now after the Logan Paul Cody Rhodes face to face, AJ Styles had a backstage promo and he said that the fans are who made him lose the match because they were doing all their loud stupid chants and everything, and it threw him off, like seemingly hinting that they're going to keep the Cody AJ thing going. So I don't know if AJ may get Cody disqualified or what. I don't know where he's going to play into that. But I feel like AJ Styles should have won this match. The match was great, though. I mean, AJ Styles is well, I mean, what can you say about it? AJ Styles is the man. Randy Orton is the man. Just a great, great wrestling match. But I think at Orton's stage in his career, he doesn't really need to he doesn't need to be in King of the Ring terms. Like, I mean, he doesn't need to win them or nothing like that. So, but nevertheless, Randy Orton did get the win with an RKO, and they were sprinting because, I mean, right after that 3 count, that signature in the corner came up, and it was go time. Now, they did have the camera in tight on him. They had the camera in tight on Randy, and I thought that was going to be a bloodline attack because earlier in the night he said that, Tama Tonga put Kevin Owens out. So it was kind of like, hey, I'm coming for you type deal. So that left room that they could have interfered to get AJ to win, but they didn't. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's wrestling. It's made up. So let's look at the updated men's tournament. So you have Randy Orton over AJ Styles. You have Carmelo Hayes over Baron Corbin. So now next week we're going to get Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. That should be good. I expect Carmelo Hayes to advance in that. Maybe that's where we get the bloodline interference. LA Knight versus Escobar didn't happen tonight. I'm assuming it's going to happen on the house show, but LA Knight's going to win that one. And then I got Big E here in the mid. I got Big E here. Who was the other match? Oh my goodness. One second. I forgot. Tama Tonga versus Angelo Dawkins. So you're gonna get LA Knight versus Tama Tonga. So your semifinal is gonna be Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight versus Tama Tonga. I'm already calling the LA Knight victory. So I think it's gonna be pretty good. WWE did a terrible job. Again, here we are with the sports thing. You want to be so sports-like, but you don't even put the updated brackets up on the website. I checked WWE.com like 5 times before I came on for updated bracket. Nothing. So that I don't have the women's bracket. But next week we are getting Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill, and I think that that's going to be again, like I say, to quote Sean Ross Sapp, that's going to be a big, beefy son of a bitch match. And I think they're going to beat the entire hell out of each other. Tiffany Stratton is absolutely going to beat Michin. So you're going to get Tiffany Stratton versus Bianca Belair. What I'm hoping is that they do not advance Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. We don't need to see that match. We don't need to see that match now. That match needs to simmer. They gave us an out tonight because Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell did attack Bianca's knee. So they have an out that, hey, maybe she could have a hurt knee. So Tiffany won't just beat her outright, but Tiffany will have an excuse for beating her like, hey, she had a hurt leg. Hopefully that's the reason why they did it, to plant the seed so that Bianca could lose to Tiffany next week. She absolutely needs to lose to Tiffany next week. So the finals will be Jade versus Tiffany Stratton. Oh, man, that's wild. I mean, Tiffany Stratton is fantastic, so I'd be curious to see how she would carry that. But again, WWE wants to be sports-like. You want to be sports-like. You want to have a draft. You want to have these brackets, but you don't update the brackets and have them readily available. You know people are doing these shows right after the damn show ends. But you don't have the brackets readily available. That's crazy. If you want to be sports-like all the way. When the NCAA tournament's going on, people have their brackets right in front of them. They're readily available. They're updating constantly. So you got to get on the ball with that. I mean, I thought tonight's show was a really, really good and fun show, but it did have its questionable things. I mean, like why are we getting Cody versus Logan Paul? I have no idea. I mean, but just to remedy that, if I was Nick Aldis, I would have said simply, hey, Cody, the Saudi Prince wants Logan Paul at that event, and we came to an agreement that we should have you versus Logan Paul, champion versus champion, in the main event. That would solve everything, because then you add money to the title. So now it's not just about being the champion. Now it's about the money. Like Dana White is always looking for the biggest fights. Like what could be the biggest fight to bring in the most money? Simple as that. You add money to anything, you could always sell something and make it bigger. I mean, and that's where we are with that. But again, I thought Monday Night Raw was great, man. Sorry for me coming on late. I was, having some computer issues and blah, 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 stuff like that. But nevertheless, this has been another episode of 5 Count. Let me know, I can't do the Monday Night Raw ones live because the show is over at 11 and it just takes too long to get all that stuff going. But this Friday night, I could do this one live. So you get what you get. So make sure and hit the like, share, and subscribe button for me. Those of you watching over on Twitter, come on over to YouTube and like the channel, Straight Talk with Trevor. I'm going to be doing a whole lot more wrestling content, not this coming Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. We're going to be doing part 2 of our Sting show entitled This is Sting Part 2, where we'll be covering his post-WCW run up into his retirement this past March. And then 2 weeks after that, we'll be doing a show entitled The Evolution of the Black Wrestler, where we'll look at how black wrestlers were treated in the beginning to now, because we have so many champions that are black right now. So it's just a great time in the industry. So we're going to cover that. And in the middle, we'll have the 5 counts on Mondays and Mondays and Fridays. And then look out for my other top 5 lists in between on the channel. But with all that being said, this is your boy Trevor, and I am out of here. Until next time, peace!
Bundy pinned this man one time. Pinned him again for a 5 count.
He told the referee keep counting to 5.
Starts in
Till 5. The fact of the matter is this. On the 5-time WCW champion, now can you